up, eat, work, sleep, reproduce, and die.
Gather round, Stranger Things fans, because we're just a few weeks away from the drop of Volume 1 of the 5th and final season. The wait is almost over, thank God for that, and it's pretty exciting but also a little bittersweet. What began in 2016 as a supernatural mystery has evolved into an epic saga of friendship, trauma, and survival. In the finale episode of Season 4, we saw that Hawkins is now totally merged with the Upside Down, and Vecna's plan is almost done. God knows what's in store for us viewers. Ever since they've shifted gears with promos, posters, and rewatches, fans are also getting ready for a wild finale filled with chaos, some serious heartbreak, and finally getting those answers we've all been waiting for. In this video, we're diving into everything we can expect from Season 5, so grab your Eggos and your tissues, because you might need them, and with that, let's dive into the final war for Hawkins. Before we get into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Will Vecna finally win or fall? Okay, let's start with the big bad himself, Vecna. Season 4 wrapped up with a creepy twist. Vecna, even though he was all burned up and looked like he was toasted really badly, but he was nowhere to be found later, so where did he go? Looks like 11's psychic battle left him broken but not totally destroyed, and now the lines between Hawkins and the Upside Down are getting all blurry. Since he is still around, he's definitely still a significant threat, but we're curious to see what he'll become next. Vecna isn't just another villain. He's different from the Demogorgon or the Mind Flayer because he's more human. Born as Henry Creel, he was the first test subject who became a predator. In Season 5, he will likely change into something that we cannot easily understand. Theories suggest that Vecna could merge with the Upside Down's hive mind, which is making him do all the dirty work before he comes to the fore, or even become the new Mind Flayer itself. So what exactly happens when the creator starts to lose control over their own creation? If Vecna really taps into the heart of the Upside Down, taking him out might mean wiping out that whole world for good. The Duffer Brothers could totally set up a finale where 11 has to choose between saving her friends or blowing up Hawkins to cut off Vecna's power for good. But as long-term fans, we all know that the show is full of surprises that you couldn't have guessed, and fans are buzzing with theories. Some think there might be a twist. Vecna could actually just be a setup for something bigger. Maybe he's unleashed an ancient force by entering that void, and his goals are more tragic than evil. If that's the case, it could make him one of the most complex villains on TV. The true nature of the Upside Down. No mystery in Stranger Things has sparked more debate than the Upside Down itself. Is it a hellish alternate dimension or a twisted mirror of Hawkins frozen in time? Since Season 1, small clues have hinted that something far stranger is at play. When Nancy and the others explored the Upside Down in Season 4, they noticed that calendars, clocks, and radios were all stuck on the same date, November 6, 1983, the day Will Byers disappeared. Season 5 is finally going to give us some answers. The Duffers have said that the early episodes will dig into the origins of the Upside Down, looking at how it came to be and why it's so obsessed with Hawkins. In fact, the final episode is titled The Right Side Up. We might find out if it was around before 11 started using her powers, or if her skills, and maybe even Henry's, accidentally created it. Some theories suggest that the Upside Down isn't a different place, but a different time. It may be a trapped version of Hawkins caught in a loop since 11 opened the first gate. This could explain why the town looks just like the real world but stays stuck in 1983. Time might have broken because of psychic shockwaves and emotional trauma, which are important to 11's story. If this turns out to be true, the Upside Down could reveal some big truths about reality, memory, grief, and identity. 11 and Vecna's link might go beyond just space and time, turning the final season into a showdown for what reality really is. 11's final test. Ever since 11 broke free from Hawkins' lab, she's been on a wild ride of figuring herself out and just trying to survive. Season 5 is probably going to be the peak of her journey, going from a scared little girl to a strong woman who's literally carrying the weight of the world on her shoulders. I mean, our girl deserves some rest, but the world keeps dumping her with upside-down chaos. 11 has always paid a high price for her powers, experiencing pain, loss, and loneliness. Now, with the fate of humanity at stake, she faces her toughest challenge. Can she defeat Vecna without losing herself? When 11 uses her powers too much, she gets nosebleeds, feels exhausted, and sometimes even collapses. In Season 3, she lost her powers completely and would have died if it wasn't for Billy. If Eleven's powers are connected to the Upside Down, understanding it might require a big sacrifice. The Duffers have suggested that the final season will show her complete emotional journey. This means her past, her mother, the lab, and Dr. Brenner will come back into focus. There's definitely a lot of tension between creation and destruction in this situation. Eleven's powers open the gate, and she might be the only one who can shut it again, but closing it could totally drain her abilities or even cost her life. Fans are divided. Will she go out like a martyr, or can she find a way to get her humanity back after all this chaos? Either way, Eleven's big moment is shaping up to be one of the most emotional endings on TV. In the end, as fans, we can only hope that she doesn't die, and if she survives, please give her the break she needs. Will Max wake up? Max Mayfield's fate was one of the biggest shockers of Season 4. After she faced off against Vecna, things took a turn for the worse, and she ended up as his fourth victim. Bones broken, heart stopped. Luckily, Eleven used her powers to bring Max back, but just barely. When the season wrapped, Max was lying in a hospital bed, in a coma, blind, and pretty much broken. But the fact that she's still alive suggests there might be something more going on beneath the surface. Some fans think Max's consciousness is stuck in the Upside Down, possibly still controlled by Vecna. When Eleven tried to bring Max back, she might have connected Max's soul to both worlds. This could make Max a key link between Hawkins and the Dark Dimension, connecting the real world and the supernatural. Season 5 might use Max as both a source of heartbreak and hope. If she comes back, her revival could really be the heart of the show, especially with her friendship with Lucas giving everyone a reason to keep pushing forward. On the flip side, if she stays lost, or if Vecna gets into her head, Max could show just how much this battle costs. Either way, her story is bound to be key to the emotional tension in the finale. All we can do is hope that Max wakes up so she can go on the date she was supposed to go on with Lucas.
Get back!
Hopper and Joyce. The calm before the storm. After years of being apart and going through so much, Season 4 finally brings Jim Hopper and Joyce Byers back together. Their love story has been a slow burn over 4 seasons, filled with heartache, trust issues, and the need to survive. But in Stranger Things, happy endings don't usually stick around. Hopper is back from his time in Russian captivity, and he's definitely not the same. Plus, their life in Hawkins might not be as peaceful as they hope. We can expect Hopper's trauma and military background to come up again in Season 5. As Hawkins falls into chaos, he'll likely take charge of organizing efforts to resist the supernatural invasion. His time in Russia, where he fought Demogorgons under government control, may be key to understanding the Upside Down's biology and weaknesses. Joyce's mom instincts are really kicking in too, especially since she almost lost Will and now Hawkins is falling apart again. This will probably push her into a bit of a panic. Her emotional side often keeps the story grounded, showing that Stranger Things is just as much about keeping families safe as it is about battling monsters. Together, Hopper and Joyce might represent a glimmer of hope in all this chaos. Fingers crossed for that, but they could also end up being the biggest victims if things wrap up tragically. The final battle for Hawkins. Episode 8 of Season 5, aka the finale, is definitely shaping up to be an epic showdown. Season 4 ended with Hawkins getting totally wrecked, fields burned, buildings half destroyed, and spooky ashes floating everywhere. The Upside Down is really starting to bleed into our reality, and Season 5 will probably dive into how the people of Hawkins are coping with all this chaos and what the military is going to do about it. There's a theory that Hawkins will be fully recognized as a disaster zone, a literal war zone under military quarantine for the entire 8-episode run. This also positions Hawkins as a setting for vast cinematic warfare. The Duffers have compared the final season's tone to Return of the King, suggesting a significant conflict where every surviving character plays a role. Expect soldiers, scientists, and citizens to join our core group even as the environment becomes hostile. There might be abandoned suburbs covered in vines, floating debris fields, and fights against mutated creatures under red skies. This setup is already giving us goosebumps. In the end, the final battle will focus on emotions. Each character faces the impact of their past traumas. For some, winning just means staying alive, but for others, it means making sacrifices. The series has always mixed horror with human feelings, and Season 5 will push both to their limits. If it could make almost all the actors cry during the table read, then we guess we should also have our tissue boxes ready when we start watching the new season.
And for all.
Will the party stay together or be torn apart? Honestly, it's not just about the bad guys the core group face, What really grabs us is the friendship between the four nerdy boys and their ride-or-die attitude. The bond among Mike, 11, Dustin, Lucas, and Will has always been the heart of the show. They started as a bunch of kids who were playing in Mike's basement, just rolling some dice and playing some D&D, but now they're up against real demons. The Duffer Brothers have said that Season 5 is all about emotional endings, which definitely hints that the core group will face serious challenges like never before. Growing up can pull people apart. As adults, they must deal with pressures that clash with the pain from their shared past. Expect strong emotions like guilt, love, and betrayal to affect how they interact. Dustin and Steve's friendship will face new challenges. Dustin saw someone very close to him die, which has affected him so much that we might not see the goofy Dustin anymore. Mike and Eleven's strained relationship needs to find a resolution, and Will's hidden feelings might finally be revealed. It doesn't matter whether the party sticks together or falls apart, their vibe will drive the story to its end. The whole idea of the show is that friendship can beat the bad stuff, and we might see that happen in a big way or end up with some heartbreak. Either way, this is the last adventure they'll embark on together.
Murderer! Murderer! Murderer!
Is it finally Will's time to step into the spotlight? Few characters need closure as much as Will Byers. Poor Will has been through so much since episode 1. The moment he went missing in season 1, he's been at the heart of the story. Even when other characters took the spotlight, his connection to the Upside Down, the Mind Flayer, Vecna, is more profound than anyone else's. He mentioned in season 4 that he could still feel the Mind Flayer around, really showed that he's still tied to that dark dimension. Season 5 will give Will a bigger role, completing the story that started with his disappearance. He might become the key to defeating Vecna, or sadly Vecna's next target. Themes of repression and identity could come back, his personal struggles to the supernatural connection that's shaped his life. There are theories that he could play the role of spy for the Mind Flayer yet again. If he does, we'll save him this time. Actor Noah Schnapp has hinted that Will's story will have a beautiful but painful ending. This suggests that he might make a sacrifice. He could either die to protect his friends or learn to cut ties for good. Either way, his journey will probably be another element of the emotional ride we're about to take. It goes from the boy who survived to the one who chooses how the story concludes. Another popular theory among fans is that Will may still be trapped despite breaking free from the Mind Flayers at the end of season 4th anniversary of his disappearance approaching and a confirmed connection to Vecna. This theory remains plausible. A Redditor proposed that the Will we've seen for the past 3 seasons is a clone created by Vecna, suggesting that the real Will remains in the Upside Down. While there is a strong connection between Will and Vecna, it's unlikely that Hawkins' Will is a clone, as he hasn't sabotaged the group's efforts, as another Reddit user noted. They observe that now that the portal to Hawkins and the Upside Down is fully open, Will's connection will be at its peak since his possession in season. He'll leverage this against Vecna while simultaneously battling Vecna's intrusion into his mind. This is accurate. It suggests that the ultimate confrontation may not be exclusively between 11 and Vecna, but will also feature Will in a more significant role. What happened to the other test subjects? In the series, we've met a few other kids who were experimented on at Hawkins' lab, especially Callie, illusionist, but we still don't really know what happened. If season 5 is all about wrapping things up, awesome to see these forgotten characters make a comeback. Duffers have a chance to tell a powerful story. Survivors from Brenner's program could come back together to fight a monster that represents their shared trauma. Some may team up with 11, while others might blame her or feel resentment. Or even worse, Vecna might take advantage of them, turning them into puppets for the Upside Down. This subplot could deepen the lab's mythology by Brenner's knowledge of the Upside Down and the government's involved. Return of other test subjects might reveal the number of gates, the differences between Henry Creel's and 11's powers, and how psychic energy is this conflict. There's another popular theory about Callie. Like Vecna, Callie can make people see things really there. Since these two characters share a common trait, fans have theorized that Vecna has already killed Callie off-screen and absorbed her abilities. Someone else mentioned it would be a waste of potential if Callie doesn't get a proper send-off or a chance to return, so we'll just have to wait and see if she shows up to help Elle in the big battle. The Mind Flayer's true role. Mind Flayer has been a lingering presence in Stranger Things since the start. A massive spider-like creature that manipulates numerous monsters. In season 4, found out that Vecna shaped it to reflect his dark imagination. Did he actually create it, or did he just stumble upon something way older? That unsettling question will likely shape season 5. Upside Down may hold powerful forces that Vecna doesn't understand. It could be a hierarchy of horror where Vecna is just another pawn. Mind Flayer might regain control, taking back command of its twisted world, turning Vecna's rebellion into a battle against his creation. After opening its gates completely in Hawkins, It has area to expand, more people to terrorize, and clear air to choke with ash and soot. We might see the Mind Flayer regain its full terrifying power. This could include storms of red lightning, black tendrils spreading across Hawkins, and strange patterns suggesting influences from beyond Earth. If the finale shows that the Upside Down is alive or has multiple dimensions, Mind Flayer could represent chaos itself. This means it would be less of a monster, like a force of disorder that cannot be truly destroyed, tamed. If this is true, it's making us nervous for the people of Hawkins. Dr. Owens, dead in the shadows. When we last caught up with Dr. Sam Owens in Season 4, he had been betrayed and locked up by his government buddies for sticking up for Eleven. Unlike Dr. Brent, Owens actually cared. He was a scientist who wanted to keep Eleven safe rather than use her. We didn't get a clear picture of what happened to him, so fans think he might still be kicking around. Owens returns in Season 5. He might be humanity's last hope. It's just a theory, but he could have secret research on how to close the gates or control psychic energy. His partnership with Eleven might grow stronger, especially if she starts to doubt herself. On the other hand, if he turns against them, he might become a moral guide for the military, the scientists trying to show everyone what's truly important to say. Owens knows about Brenner's experiments, Project Nina, how the government was involved. This knowledge could change how we understand the entire series. It will likely have a smaller but important role, possibly leaving behind recordings, blueprints, or a final failsafe could decide the fate of humanity, fate of Hawkins. Is there a way to seal the Upside Down forever? Conclusion of each season, Hawkins narrowly escapes yet another invasion. Final chapter, survival isn't enough. World needs a permanent solution. A way to close all gates, sever all psychic links, end the cycle of horror. Big question is how? Considering the themes of the show, the solution comes with an emotional or physical toll. Eleven and Will serve as a psychic connection between the two realms. It's likely that closing the rift will necessitate one of them staying in the Upside Down, trapping themselves indefinitely to manage its power. This kind of sacrifice would resonate with classic sci-fi endings, aligned with the series' bittersweet essence. Time travel or temporal loop theories. The Upside Down is kind of unusual because it's stuck in the year 1983. This bizarre feature has led to extensive discussion. Why is it trapped in that time? Is it a pocket timeline, a memory loop, an alternate past? Why is Hawkins the epicenter of Season 5 might finally show us that time is the show's final challenge. Henry Creel's powers disrupted reality. The Upside Down could act like a broken time, constantly repeating the day Eleven opened the first gate. Eleven's powers have always challenged ideas about space and awareness, reach across distance, dimensions, and even memories. It's reasonable to think that could be next. That could mean she might have to go back in time to stop the invasion, or possibly to when it all began, the vanishing of Will Byers. Some fans think we might see a time reset at the end. Everything goes back to normal in Hawkins, peaceful Hawkins. Characters forget all the crazy supernatural stuff, come out stronger in some weird, deeper way. Others think it will end on a dark loop just going on forever. The whole crazy saga starts over again, and Hawkins trapped for good. Either way, it would turn Stranger Things into this epic cyclical storm where time itself is the real monster. Steve Harrington's fate, the hero's goodbye. When it comes to character growth in Stranger Things, you really can't beat Steve the Hare Harrington. He's had the most epic transformation in the series. This guy has really changed more than anyone else, going from a cocky high school jock to an unexpected babysitter, finally turning into a true hero. People love him for his protective instincts, sense of humor, loyal. The fact that he keeps coming close to death makes you wonder if something tragic is on the horizon. Season 5 might give Steve his full redemption arc. The moment proves, once and for all, he's the heart of Hawkins' defense. War against the Upside Down escalates, someone will have to make the ultimate sacrifice. And Steve, fortunately, fits that archetype perfect. Duffers have hinted that the finale will involve emotional devastation, and Steve's death, perhaps saving Dustin or Nancy, would shatter audiences wide. Still, there is hope. Steve may find survival, redemption, and maybe even true love. Instead of dying, he might find peace. His journey shows a shift from selfishness to selflessness. This change is why Stranger Things resonates with many people, because the greatest hero starts as a fool. Bittersweet ending or total destruction? Final question that lingers over all of this: what kind of ending will Stranger Things deliver? Duffers have described it as tearful but satisfying, promise of closure with real emotional weight. That likely means that not everyone makes it out alive. Hawkins, as a setting, may not survive at all. Town symbolizes lost innocence, a microcosm of shattered 1980s idealism. Its destruction could represent cleansing and rebirth through sacrifice, or the show could conclude with a rebuilt Hawkins, its hidden scars haunting viewers. Either way, get ready for a series of goodbyes. Eleven will face her past, Will find peace, Hopper and Joyce will make a final choice between love and survival. Including scenes may reflect the first season, riding their bicycles, delicate peace reestablished. This time, the shadow in the sky truly disappears. It never completely goes away, because in Stranger Things, every conclusion marks another beginning. Marvelous verdict. Stranger Things Season 5 is more than just the finale of a fan-favorite show. It's the grand finale of a cultural wave that changed TV as we know it. Over almost 10 years, we've watched these characters evolve from scared kids into unexpected heroes, all shaped by love, loss, and the mysteries they faced. It'll be really hard to say goodbye to a show that always kept us waiting on our toes. All fans can hope for is the finale that the show deserves. Although the fun and excitement of the 80s will still be present, this time, the story is taking a darker, emotional turn than before. Whether 11 triumphs and closes the door forever, whether the entire world is permanently altered, this ride through the Upside Down is going to be the defining cinematic event of the decade. Which of these predictions do you think is the most likely? Do you think Max will wake up? Will Steve survive? Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section down below. Otherwise, that's a wrap for today's video. Enjoyed this content? Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. But otherwise, we think it's time to indulge in a Stranger Things rewatch party. We suggest you do the same. We'll catch you next time in our next marvelous video, but until then, thanks for watching.